Hello everybody, Garage Heathen here. Again, sorry for the long absence, I kinda got caught up with my uni work. A bunch of things have changed since the last devlog, so here's what I've been doing. First, I added a timer and general statistics for the game. Now the game can actually measure how well you've done the puzzle. The stats include whether the human was killed, whether the job was done, how long it took, how different your solution is from the given code, and so on. Second, added a diagnostic system that allows me to gather data and see what puzzles may need reworking. Third, I started work on the third language, Neurolang I'll call it, where you'll have to play psychologist with some of the robots, instead of directly reprogramming them. This part resembles classic visual novel gameplay. You'll then have to change the personality modules depending on which one is broken. Remember that one robotic lady. Books. We have books now. These are manuals that you can read with an interface like an actual ebook. This was inspired by Zachtronic's way of doing tutorials, although I'm trying to make it a bit more beginner friendly. Also, the timer will stop while you're reading is to encourage using the manuals. And some visual improvements, of course. Also, I've started working with Inkle, since my last dialogue system was alright, but not as easy to use. Another thing I've been working on is the main character. Here's a sneak peek. Yes, a middle-aged woman, cyber engineer, with, of course, a dark, mysterious past full of regrets. Another exciting thing, I'm going to collab with a very talented friend of mine, Max Cherepanov, who I conveniently study with. He'll help me with designing the outer world, and here are some of his works. The setting is gritty cyberpunk this time, mostly inspired, surprise, by the old Blade Runner, Serial Experiments Lane, and the Blame manga. So you can see why I think Maxim's style is a great pick for this. Now, the diagnostic system. I'm using Google's Firebase database for this, just like I did with Who's Lila. I'm also thinking of utilizing Steam's playtest feature, a relatively new thing where you can publish a playtest build that any Steam player can opt into. This will then gather data on each puzzle, including time spent on puzzle, how much time the player has spent reading, the difference index, and the outcome of the puzzle. The full list of data being gathered will be available before you decide to start the game. I'll also be gathering manually written feedback and self-measured programming skill level of players. This will hopefully help me tweak some of the puzzles in case they're too easy or too difficult. As for some other news, I have finally moved in with my girlfriend, so I'm doing a lot more chores and house stuff, like buying furniture as well as studying. Exciting. And finally, some more Who's Lila news. First of all, if you follow my Twitter, you may know we have become finalists in the Indie Play competition. The offline conference will be held in Shanghai. I won't be able to attend, but my co-publishers, Indie Arc, were kind enough to go instead. Therefore, the 13th November also brings about the release of trading cards for Who's Lila, as well as the big sale on the same week, so if you're here but haven't purchased the game yet, that will be a good time to do that. Another neat event is the Serenade X Metamorphosis, a Static Vision Festival. It's an offline event that takes place in Melbourne from October 20th to October 23rd, and the guys from Serenade were kind enough to contact me and pick Who's Lila to be part of the game's exhibition there. I do appreciate the small plastic babies. I unfortunately live a very long way from Australia, but keep an eye on this festival. It looks like a very interesting and beautiful event to me. So, that's about it. I'm not sure when the demo for Dystopian Debugger will be out, since my working schedule depends heavily on my uni workload, which is now offline. So stay tuned for the next updates, and see you around. Bye!